Welcome to the Plot Malaysia. Boom! Welcome to the Plot Malaysia, and we're live. Guys, I'm doing the introduction today because, as you can see, my co-partner, my co-host, is in a state of depression. And rightly so. I'm really, really happy to see him in this state. And obviously our guest, our regular panelist, Mr. Samson, is here as well today because, Samson, it's a huge, huge day. So let's kick this off by introducing our show as we always do. Guys, welcome to the Plot Malaysia, the show for the fans.
By the fans.
By the fans.
By the fans. By the fans. Yeah. By the fans. I must say, I love this channel. Obviously, I love you, Harry. I love you, Samson. But today, I hate you guys.
Oh man. I gotta say, Ram, I give you credit for fronting up today.
That's
but
right.
Man, you're in for some torments like today. In for some horrible banter, like my friend. Get ready. Guys, what we're doing is we're going to be reviewing the huge clash over the weekend. United, a team fighting to stay in the division, I would say now, based on yesterday's form. And Liverpool, who absolutely toyed with them. It was men, there's a saying, right, Samson? Men against boys.
Boys, yep.
This was men against kids, man. I'm sorry.
Children,
it felt like
literally.
It literally felt like abuse. That's what it felt like, and
What can I say? Maguire is the fridge. 80 million pound fridge.
No.
That's it. When you see this at the start of the game, you know how the game is going, my friend. Harry Maguire.
I mean, literally,
warm up like
he was doing an acrobat against the air, and he couldn't do shit against the ball. So
Giri was there telling yesterday, that if you put you guys take a Felda United baju shirt, jersey, and wear, you guys won't be able to tell the difference. Which is true. We went to Old Trafford. We didn't know if we went to Old Trafford or we went to a local stadium and played, because it was that bad.
It was like in the park. It was toying with them.
Look at the first goal. He was very bad. It was a amateurish defensive error. It was very, very bad.
The first goal, if you watch it again, right, Salah could have played in Robertson or Keita, and both would have been one-on-one with the keeper.
Or he could have taken it on himself. Or he could have taken
it on himself. The second goal, if Jota missed it, Milner was coming diving in as well.
Exactly.
It was literally like we had 16 players in the pitch, and you had
plan A, B, and C. We got you left, right, front, center.
I don't know what to say,
guys,
but let's sum it up this way,
This one, oh my God!
I hit you with everything except the kitchen sink.
5-0, Ram. 5-0.
Okay. I'm gonna say this. All right. I'm sure.
Keep putting up your heads. It was 5-0. Just keep putting. Okay, fine.
But I'm gonna say this. Like I did last season as well when we did the show, where Liverpool won 4-2, and now Harry is frozen. Okay, so we did a show 4-2. I'm just gonna say the better team won, obviously, and I congratulate the winning team, Liverpool. Well done. I have, honestly speaking, right, in a game like this, especially when you talk about United with Liverpool, I think both teams, when they play football, if both teams are attacking, both teams are doing it, even if either team were to lose that game but put on a fight, I think it would still be something that the opposing team has a lot of talking points to talk about to defend their team.
Hey, there was fight. I love my United team, yesterday. There was fight. I have
a lot of admiration for Jurgen. I have nothing to say. Nothing positive to say about Ole.
There was a bit of fight, Harry.
No, that's what I said.
Ronaldo forgot where was the goal post. He started kicking Curtis Jones.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Ken, I'm not frozen, right?
Yeah, you're good.
No, okay, it's okay. You're frozen. I'm fine. One less person to bully me. Anyway,
okay. No. I was just saying there was a lot of fight from United. What are you talking about, Ram? Ronaldo is kicking a 20-year-old boy on the pitch. Pogba is trying to break Keita's foot coming in after 10 minutes.
Okay.
Bruno Fernandes, by the way, should have been sent off as well. It was a very nasty challenge he put in. I think it was against Curtis Jones as well. And he got away with that.
Yeah.
My God, you guys put in a bit of fight, lah. There's no doubt that if that's what you call fight, then yeah, there was a lot of fight, lah.
No,
And listen,
no,
I mean,
no, Harry.
Desperation.
Look,
Great-
Harry, I totally agree that the tackles were mistimed. It was not sportsmanlike
Mistimed?
at all. No, I'm trying to keep the words. You know, there's so much of profanities I want to throw out, but I'm not going to do it because we're live.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to keep it very sane and very clean as much as possible. So yeah, it was mistimed. It was bad. Pogba deserved the red card. Ronaldo shouldn't have done that. Whatever he did, and I think Bruno Fernandes should have been sent off as well. I agree with you. So we could have ended up having 9 players on the pitch.
No, I was talking to a friend of mine, Ram. Sorry to cut you off. And he was telling me something. He said, if one of the best players in the world, like Ronaldo, and if he resorts to doing something like that tells you how not so much about how frustrated he is, but how well Liverpool played. He couldn't get past the defense. He couldn't. They couldn't break through as a team. They couldn't function as a unit. And Liverpool really, I think they turned up. They went all out. But United for me was a big disappointment because to be honest with you, although I'm happy with the result, but I expected a good match. I expected United to turn up, especially in Old Trafford, and give us a good game.
Wait, Ram, I want to basically divide this show into 2 parts, lah. So we want to talk about United. I know a lot of people, and you want to talk about United, want to get on United's case, talk to you about Oli on the wheel, off the wheel. I don't know, bro, but you should stay on the wheel as far as I'm concerned. Under the wheel.
Okay.
I don't know. So there are a lot of questions, a lot of comments coming in about United, for example. If you guys were there as Man United fans, will you leave the stadium? I'm guessing, Ram, you'd be one of those who might stay as a loyal fan till the end.
I'll stay.
But yeah, I mean,
that's why I'm here today, right? I'm here today, guys.
It was pretty bad shape, and there was no better way to sum it up than this live, you asked me. Which was classic to see, Sir Alex Ferguson's face, and then the fans storming out of the stadium in the 60th minute, 64th minute. Which was unbelievable. But anyway,
I was pissed off with the fans. I was pissed off. That's not what you do, when you're coming on to support your club. You should be there till the end. Doesn't matter whatever the result was, but they should have not done that. I think that just showed disloyalty, in my opinion. So I don't appreciate that at all. Yeah.
Fair enough. And I mean, Lakshan has some really good points. I want to get to this. But before we do this, I don't want this to be, if you look at a lot of the streams that are going on, a lot of the broadcasting channels and how they're covering this game, they're focusing 99% of it on United and Oli. And I think that's really unfair because I think there was a team there that was brilliant on the night. So I want to start by focusing a little bit on us, Liverpool, and how brilliant we were on the night.
I mean, you guys should do that because I think credit goes where it's due. So I want to also chip in as well. And there's a lot of things that I can say that Ole can learn from how Liverpool played. So go on.
And we will definitely get deep into United as well, guys. So let's quickly start with the Liverpool side of the story, I'm going to come to you on this, Samson. Me going into the game, this kind of game, I'm always nervous because it's always very tight. It can go either way. Obviously, Liverpool's defense was a little shaky against Atletico, and I thought they would target. We spoke about the preview show, they may target Trent. And then when the lineups came out, I was a bit more worried actually because Fabinho was out and he's Dyson for us in there.
Yes.
And then obviously Mane was rested for Jota. So I thought, wow, Klopp's taking a bit of a gamble here. And then the biggest gamble of all was Konate playing instead of Matip. I want to get to you. So obviously I was getting a bit nervous. I said Konate's big final game is being thrown right into the Old Trafford scenario. How do you think he played and how do you think it worked out, those changes actually?
So Ram texted me, of course, the night before. He said he couldn't sleep. He was very nervous. I told him as well, I'm excited and I was nervous as well. Why? Because it is again a United Liverpool game. Who wouldn't be? It is the clash of titans in the Premier League. But of course we'll get into why it wasn't later on. But for me, it was so good. And and we did the review show the other day. And 99% of our lineup for United was correct. Okay. But all of us got wrong for Liverpool's lineup
which was very interesting, right? Because normally it's not the case.
Because Klopp did a mastermind he threw in a curve ball, especially with Konate, because he knew United will already know how Matip and also Virgil van Dijk would face, but he threw in a bit of surprises here and there. He took a gamble with Konate. He took a gamble putting Jota on the left and playing with Firmino, which is a very rare lineup. He doesn't play those three,
Doesn't
but
normally,
he took that chance, and I think it worked out well for him at the end of the day. So I was so happy because and that just shows you again. We will go into Ole and Klopp later on, the difference in experience with the two managers.
And this is a really good point. I was going to get to this, right? This is why Konate was a masterstroke, in my opinion, because the threat, we all spoke about it in the preview, that they will target Trent moving up, Rashford's pace in behind, and we were struggling with Matip there, especially. Not enough cover. We were struggling against Atletico, Brentford, and Konate is the right guy for it, because Konate is a beast in the air.
Yes,
but
the
one thing that he has over Matip is he's got pace to burn. This guy is faster than Van Dijk on the floor. He's got pace to burn. So the fact that if the ball gets played long to Rashford and Trent's up the field, Konate can intercept that ball. He's got the pace to track Rashford. And it worked out to a T if you watch that game. There were times where Dalot, I think later in the game as well, had a head run on him, but he just shouldered him out. He caught up with him. He was dealing with Rashford pretty well. And I think this was beautiful, because not just for this game, but moving forward, I'm not secure now as well, because we can play Matip in certain games, but in certain games where we know the team is going to target our right-hand side, are going to play that long ball, are going to try and play it to a pacey winger, Konate can come on and cover that side and do a brilliant job. So, I mean, it was an absolute... Konate, in my opinion, more than Jota, was a masterstroke by Jurgen Klopp.
That's right. And just to add on to you, Ram, I think you guys were having a debate about Konate and Varane. I think you should take the red card. And Konate has proven you why. Because Konate has gotten his first clean sheet before Varane can have.
Yes, at Old Trafford.
At Old Trafford. Varane started, ever since the Premier League started, he's been playing more games than Konate, and he still haven't kept a clean sheet. Konate started at Old Trafford and he's got his clean sheet.
Yeah, so Konate, not playing for United, has got a clean sheet at Old Trafford before Varane. Beat that, my friend. That's really, really impressive indeed. But yeah, I thought he was absolutely brilliant. I thought he was really good. The other player that stood out for me, obviously Jota, I thought was a great call. He scored a goal, but he was also influential in the play generally. And they were interchanging really well. I think the Jota call was more for freshness as well. Mane has played the last couple of games. It added a bit of freshness to the attack, I thought, because Jota didn't play in the last game.
Very predictable with Mane, So and
I thought that worked a T as well. But now I'm going to save a special mention to a couple of players, actually 3 players. Everyone was brilliant, but I think you know who I'm going to go to.
Hendo.
Let's start with Hendo, the captain. That was majestic from him. I thought we were going to miss Fabinho in that game, but my word, Jordan Henderson had an absolutely brilliant game. And that pass is not getting enough attention just because he's not a De Bruyne or he's not a Salah maybe, but that ball that he played to Salah with the outside of his right boot was De Bruyne like, was Gerrard like.
It was masterclass. That actually puts him up there as one of the top midfielders in Europe. I think he hardly gets a mention, but the work that he puts in midfield, I think very, very few people work as hard as him. So I think Jordan Henderson definitely deserves a mention. He performed fantastically well yesterday, and he led.
And not just that, Samson. The other thing that he always gets a knock on for is they say he's a hard worker. He's full of energy in midfield. He closes down. No one praises his quality in the ball. If you watch the game yesterday, his quality on the ball, the passes, the drill passes, the ball he played for Salah for that goal. He's got quality on the ball as well, not just the hard-working side of him, but he's actually got a lot of quality with his passing.
That's true. He's a little bit like Carrick-like, actually, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Very, very
valid point. And again, that goal was not just a pass. It was he won the ball from Pogba first and then to play that ball. Now, another couple of players I'm going to mention. Before we get to the main man, I thought Naby Keita arrived yesterday. He had an outstanding game. He scored the first. He set up, I think it was the third. He was involved big time in the second goal as well. I think he was involved in pretty much all the goals. And then obviously Pogba had to pretty much take him out to get him out of the game. But I thought Naby Keita had a brilliant game as well.
Naby Keita had a brilliant game. I think aside from Salah, of course, because he scored the Hattrick and also with an assist. Naby Keita was second for me to get the I think one of the top rated players from yesterday's game. Really very influential. He was all over the place. He was winning balls, making those runs forwards. So I think Naby Keita, for me, I think his best performance so far.
Yes, in a Liverpool jersey, I would say that.
In a Liverpool jersey, best performance so far. I was so happy to see him perform. I think, as I mentioned to you the week before, I think when we did the show, that Klopp saw something in him when they got him on. He's showing little by little. He's actually showing glimpse of what that potential is. And we saw it, I think, in the United match. Unfortunately, Pogba had to cut it short. And we do wish him a speedy recovery because I would really love to see what else he can do.
And the good thing about him is he's turned into a goal scoring midfielder. He's scored 3 goals already this season, in the early part of the season, 2 wonder goals, obviously yesterday's goal as well.
That's
so
true.
Naby Keita, I thought, had a great game as well. And then actually I'm going to go with Salah first. Mo Salah. Yesterday he overtook Didier Drogba. So he's now the top scoring African in the Premier League in Premier League history.
That's right. That's right.
Before I don't want your opinion on this, Samson, because we've spoken about Salah. We know how good he is firsthand as Liverpool fans. Ram, watching him play against United yesterday, tell me how good Mo Salah is in your opinion.
The best player in the world right now. I have to say. I can tell you this, guys. I'm not just saying this because I'm not a Liverpool fan. Obviously, I'm a United fan. But if I'm going to look at football as a whole, I think it would be criminal that he doesn't win the Ballon d'Or. And if it's going to go down to somebody else winning it, then you can see it's so it's discriminating. What a true talent he is. So definitely the best player in the world right now. Messi can pack his bags. Ronaldo can pack his bags. Mo Salah will be there, I think, and thereabouts for a few more years to come. He's still 29 years old. So I think he has always given Liverpool like a minimum of 20 goals a season, and he guarantees that kind of performances in and out. And now he's really got what? I think how many goals has he got now? 9 goals.
I think in the league I think it's 9 or 10, but in total in all competitions I think it's 15 goals or something like that.
Yeah. So and it's only 9
and
goals
not just that. I think he's got like 5 assists as well. So people say he's selfish. He's also got 5 assists. He played the assist for Naby Keita as well.
See,
the first goal he laid it on the plate for him.
It's okay for him to be selfish because hey, he's scoring the goals. If he wants to bag a few solo goals, he has the right to do it because he has the confidence to do it right now. Even more so after scoring the hat-trick yesterday. So it will be criminal if he does not get the Ballon d'Or. And it'll be nice to see a player from that continent, in Africa, winning that Ballon d'Or. I think it sends a testament to all those aspiring footballers from that part of the region.
I 100% agree, man. And it's good, like I said, to get a United perspective on him, Samson, because I think we both agree he was outstanding, but he's been outstanding throughout the years.
No United fans will disagree because it is a fact. Mo Salah is Mo Salah. You can have all the puns in the world about Kala or whatever it is, but in their heart they know Mo Salah is going to be a threat for a long time to come, for sure.
And it was not just the goals, man. His overall play, he set up Keita. I think it was very influential in one of the other goals as well. I mean, Mo Salah, what can you say? Running down the wing. And then I'm going to save the last mention, Samson, to your favorite player. One of my favorite for Liverpool as well. We call him Cisenor. In my opinion, if not for Salah's hat-trick yesterday, this guy was man of the match. Yes. He ran the show. He ran Harry Maguire and Lindelof ragged by dropping in that position. No one could pick him out. No one could get the ball off him. He was dancing with the ball at his feet. He was finding those incisive passes and making those runs again. Bobby Firmino, man. And if not for De Gea, I should have got a goal as well. I think De Gea made a brilliant save of him as well.
Yes, that's correct.
How good was Bobby yesterday, man? He was such a joy to watch, man.
I think that's why I told you. I always have this spot for Bobby because he is so underrated, and people don't appreciate his game. So I think Klopp always mentioned this. I think Bobby is creating a new meaning for a false nine.
Number 9.
You
He
know?
said that. He said people write
That's right.
books about him.
He will, because you know why? Bobby is now the way he plays. He doesn't just go up forward now. He actually, the way he sets up the wingers to run and to cut in, and how he creates the midfielders to move around and things like that. The way he can intercept the ball. His touches on the ball and off the ball. His runs that he makes is just brilliant. He touches is so brilliant. I think he doesn't get a lot of mention, but Bobby yesterday, wow, watch his game.
I mean, if anyone wants to watch, I mean, if you don't watch closely, you'll miss him out in yesterday's
That's
game.
right.
You know, you won't know the work he does. But if you want to watch like a highlights reel of Bobby from yesterday, catch it, guys, because I thought he was outside. I was just watching him, actually. He was brilliant. He was linking the play up so well between the midfield and the attack. And he was running, like I said, Maguire and Lindelof ragged. That's why they were running out of position. They were out of position all the time. And Simba has brought it up brilliantly, right? He kept pulling Maguire out of position.
That's right.
Lindelof as well. And then a quick mention, guys. I thought everyone played well, right? But Trent obviously had a good game. I thought credit to Curtis Jones. He came on early for Milner, and I thought he played very well as well, actually, Curtis, in a big game at Old Trafford. And that would be good as well. And yeah, this is, again, great point. So Bobby was pulling Maguire and Lindelof around, which caused Shaw to move centrally, and then Shaw was left isolated with Salah and Keita and all running at him. So
of all the flanks for them to leave exposed, they left the left one where Salah could have just run free. Oh my goodness. That was.
I mean, and let's move to that, right? I mean, we've spoken about Liverpool. Let's give you your this thing, because the biggest story I think coming out of yesterday was United, And Ram, I'm going to give a Liverpool perspective first. I'm going to let you go on your rant, because I know you've got something in store for all of us and the viewers as well. You want to let out steam, But
blow it up.
What play? I mean, I watched you play against Leicester. I thought you guys were poor. I thought you got away against Atalanta, but I still expected a bit of a fight yesterday. I mean, I thought we'll take on a proper Premier League outfit, at least challenger. I was surprised at how poor you guys were, man. When I say poor,
I was surprised too.
You were disorganized. The midfield was all over the place. The defense was moving here. No one knew their jobs. I thought yesterday. I thought you were so tactically inept. It was almost as if you were playing I think even any other Premier League side, I think, has got tactical direction. I think you guys lacked it completely yesterday with all the stars on the pitch. There were no tactics because, I mean, Lakshan, I think, brought this up really well earlier, and I'm going to highlight this point, guys. United supposedly are a counter-attacking team. Yesterday, he turns and he wants to suddenly overnight tell them to play a pressing game against Liverpool. If you don't practice and you don't train a pressing game and you try to implement it suddenly, you're going to be all over the shop like United were. Mason Greenwood was pressing. The rest of the team was chilling out. So we were finding gaps so easily, running through you so easy. No one was moving in unison. Like I said, disorganized. I thought attitude-wise, it was so poor. No one running for the ball. Ronaldo, man, no pressing, no work rate up top. I mean, it was a shambles. It was really a shambles. And I mean, I almost felt a bit of pity for you at the end, for United fans at the end, because it was that bad. And I mean, under a manager for 3 years, for example, 2 to 3 years now, but still not having a direction, a style of play, and being so easy to play against. I mean, what have you got to say to that, Ram? Because, I mean, for me, man, watching that, it was I mean, I watch United game, any Premier League game for that matter, we're playing one of the challenges, one of the big boys. You're normally on the edge of your seat, you're nervous. I mean, Samson, I don't know about you, but 20, 30 minutes in that game yesterday, once you were 3-0 up, my legs were up I was chilling out, I was chilling out in a game at Old Trafford, I couldn't believe my eyes for a moment. So, I want to get your perspective on it, Ram. How bad was that, man? Was that the worst United performance you have ever seen as a United fan?
Yes, it was definitely the worst, because you can talk about many years ago when City came to Old Trafford and won 6-1 and beat us 6-1. But you see, even though we lost the game 6-1, we were still attacking, right? And obviously we were a man down, and of course, counter-attack. Obviously, there were a lot of holes, and of course, they scored the 6 goals. But we were attacking. You see, it's a different story when you are going for the game, you are 1-0 down, 2-0 down. You got to show some intent. You got to show that you are willing to take shots. You got to show that you you are there or thereabouts, that you want to score a goal, then the fans must have that feeling that, oh, okay, there is a chance coming. I can feel the momentum growing. But this time, I did not feel it at all. It was like the moment Liverpool scored the first goal was, of course, after a missed chance by Bruno Fernandes. I mean, to be honest, to be very, very honest, I'm not going to say that if Bruno scored the goal, the game would have been different. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say if he scored the goal, possibly it will just take Liverpool a bit longer to score an equalizer, but they would have, right? And yes, maybe the confidence would have been there, but I don't think the gameplay was present at all. I thought the defense were absolutely shambolic, very, very bad. Maguire and Shaw clashing and getting all out of all the positions wrong. You've got one Bissaka who I thought he, as usual, he can't cross the ball. He was not contributing in the attack at all. Of course, only Mason Greenwood made a shot and Alisson saved the ball. So
Good shot,
that was
bro.
the only thing. You see, my light is not working because it's so frustrated with me. It's so frustrated about United right now.
I tell you, the effect, because Ole say is one of the darkest days,
not.
so it's
It is, and you know what? It has only been happening right now, since we went on live. So you can see the frustration, the energy of frustration that I'm bringing out is taking effect on my light. That is probably switching it off on its own. But I can tell you this, okay? I can tell you this, that I am in a way, okay, relieved. There you go. You guys can see me, right? I am actually relieved.
Thank God you're fair, bro.
I'm actually relieved that right now, okay, the board is definitely in talks to see what they're going to do about the manager. And now Ole's job is officially under threat. There were so many talks. Yeah.
You know what, Ram? But before we get to my point, a clear example that summed up United's day was the fifth goal that Liverpool scored. 3 players around Pogba and Liverpool going to score. That's how you press, and it takes time to build a pressing system. 100% spot on, Lakshan. And that's why I said, right, you don't just overnight tell your team, oh, go and press Liverpool. Come on, man. It takes practice.
Okay,
you got to really work on a pressing system. And this is my opinion about Ole. I mean, all right, let's ask you this, Ram. Before we move any further, you've obviously had sentiments for Ole and all that for a while, and a bit on the fence. Where do you stand now? Is he Ole in, Ole out? Where are you now?
Okay, before I answer that question, Hari, 3 years, he has been a United manager. He has done well last season, which I respect.
Actually, I'm going to put a caveat. I'm going to put a caveat to this. Everyone says he's done well last year. They say he finished second. Like Gary Neville always brings it up. Oh, but he finished second last year. Let me point something out to you. The year before last, he wasn't great. United weren't great. The year before last, okay? And Luke Shaw wasn't great. Last year, Luke Shaw was brilliant.
Yeah.
This year, he's again crap. If you notice, his form is horrible this year so far. All right?
It's up and down.
And I've got a theory to this, and United, they say, when 20-something games unbeaten or something like that, away from home, correct?
30
games away from home or whatever that. 30 games or what away from home unbeaten, right?
That record doesn't matter. I mean, what?
I'm not just trying to say something. A large majority of that was last season. Last season, there were no fans in the ground. And I've got a theory that this United team lacks characters. They can't deal with pressure. With fans in the ground at Old Trafford baying for blood, pressure to go and attack teams, I feel they struggle. I feel Luke Shaw hides. I feel a lot of the players hide. And when you go to opposition grounds, the opposition fans are there now as well. So I think they buckle under it as well. I mean, if you look this year, they won at Leicester, yes. I mean, they lost at Leicester, the first away defeat. But before that, they played Wolves, I think, and they were very lucky to win that 1-0. Extremely lucky to win that 1-0. I thought Wolves should have won. Southampton drew away from home. So, this philosophy, this thinking about them being great away from home, I have a theory that it's also because there were no fans in the ground last year. And their home form as well, they can't deal with their own fans in the ground. There's a lack of characters in that team. And it's also because of that manager, because he may be a good guy, good human being, whatever. I mean, gets on with the players, but he's not a manager, man. He's pally with the managers. Like, you can't be a manager. I don't think he has the character, the leadership quality that's needed for that job. But the good thing is, of course, like you said, the board are discussing his position, and maybe now Steve Bruce is available. So bring in another old fella, lah. Another Sir Alex boy, lah.
Okay.
Steve Bruce. Someone I heard said Park Ji-sung also. Bring Park Ji-sung in also, lah.
Harry, you see, I totally echo your sentiment when you said all that, you know, and when you came to the Steve Bruce part, I just want to knock your head if I could. Okay, if I'm meeting you in person, I will take my foot and knock you in the head. I'm going to do that. Okay, when you say that. But here's my take. Okay, yes and no. In terms of your theory or philosophy or whatever you said about the fans in the ground or not, I think it's yes and no. It's still early to say for me, because when we started off the season winning 5-1 against Leeds, we started off, you know, beating Newcastle 4-1. We started off, okay, we had a good run of games, right? But you see, this is the thing. I felt that Solskjaer kept on clinging on to the same tactics, the same gameplay throughout all the games that
I
we
think
were
he doesn't
playing.
have tactics, bro. But yeah, go on.
Exactly. That's why I did this. He doesn't have tactics, doesn't have gameplay. Okay, that's for sure. But the fact is this: you play. There's so much of good football that was shown in the beginning of the season. There was so much of hope, because at one point we were at the top of the table. It was a nice feeling. Okay, it was a really good feeling. And then it went downhill. It went downhill because he kept relying on Fred McTominay.
Okay, I've got another point here, and I'm going to bring Samson into this as well, right?
Yeah.
Samson, let's answer this first. Like, United now reminds me of the Galacticos, all stars, not a team, so many egos, keep signing so many players they don't know how to use. Why? Okay, now this builds into my question as well for you,
Hang on
Samson,
for a
because I mean, they could get rid of Solskjaer, bring in another manager, for example, but at the end of the day, who makes these signings, lah? They signed Donny van de Beek. They don't even use the guy. They don't even need him. Their recruitment stinks, if you ask me honestly. They don't sign players that they need for their system, or that the manager needs. They just sign players, stars, superstars, whatever it is.
I'm just going to say this before.
So even if they bring a new manager, in, if the person on top is dictating the signings and he's just going to sign any person, not the right person for the system, what difference is that going to make? So Samson, I mean, Ram, you go ahead and bring up your point as well. I want Samson to answer this.
No. I'm just going to say this. Samson, I'm going to give you your time to speak up as well on this, because I know you got some valuable points for this. But I'm going to say this. I think any manager other than Solskjaer right now, okay, would probably have some pattern of play that could win games. For sure.
Yeah, I agree. Okay? But I'm saying from a long-term perspective, From
a long-term perspective, you're right. Because of course the Glazers, you know, whatever they can do they want to satisfy the fans, they want to buy all these players. Okay, fine. All said and done. I feel sorry for Van de Beek. If I could, you know, meet him in person, I would really want to say sorry to him. You know, because I feel so bad for him, because he could have literally bring a breath of fresh air into the midfield of United. And if you notice yesterday's game, where was the midfield? Okay, you've got Fred, McTominay, who are a double pivot as you speak. But where was the next person they were going to pass the ball to? So far away. They were not even closing in on the midfield.
That's because they were playing a 4-2-4. 4-2-4.
No,
four fellas just do what they want.
But
the other four fellas do whatever you want. Yeah, disconnected.
But when you are losing the ball, when you lost the ball, you're supposed to be close together. You're supposed to be pressing.
Yeah, agreed.
You're not supposed to be staying far away from each other, right? And hope, hit and hope. So Solskjaer's game is all about hit and hope. Fred gets the ball. He's Brazilian. He can pass the ball, but his feet doesn't actually do the job. So you see, there's a lot of disjointed things going on in United right now. And I think I have to say this, although I disagreed in the beginning when we did our season in when we started off this season, I disagreed with what Harry said. But now I'm going to agree with you. I think it was a bad call signing Cristiano Ronaldo, in my opinion.
Big one, guys. Hearing it here first.
Ronaldo
was a bad signing.
It was. I wouldn't say it's a bad signing. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, any team would love to have Cristiano Ronaldo. Yes, but you see, when you have a player of that ego or that caliber to come into this team right now, what you really need is to build that momentum, that confidence of the people that you've actually purchased, like Sancho, Varane. See, I'm losing my chain of thought. Who else did we sign?
Sancho, Varane, Ronaldo, 3.
Yeah, 3 of them.
Okay, yeah, fine. But you had Van de Beek in the squad. You could have used him so many times, and he did not. He did not. Whenever Van de Beek plays, he plays a good game. He shows what he can do. And that's why it's so frustrating. That's what United needed to build on, because that would have been a good gameplay. All these young players who are hungry for success, wanting to win the game, they would have put on a fight. And then you get Cristiano Ronaldo in. Okay, so everyone is like, okay, let's pass the ball to Ronaldo and he will do something. How can he do something when there's no pass?
So I mean, valid, right? So again, Samson coming to this point, like, So they just, don't you think they're just signing players for the sake of it, the names, etc. I mean, Sancho, he's signed. I don't think there's a clear plan for Sancho. Sometimes he's playing on the left. Most times he's playing on the left. I think for Dortmund, he was mostly utilized on the right. There is no, you don't, like with Klopp and Liverpool, the recruitment strategy is brilliant. They sign players they need for the system, who are suited for the system. Do you think it's going to make any difference to bring a new manager in if that's how they're going to dictate their signings?
That's true. So I think I really felt Ram's passion and emotion there, sharing about United. Ram, I am going to say this. Trust me, it's still early days. I think mid-season, or maybe say after that, I think you're going to appreciate Ronaldo a bit more, because of course right now, because you're feeling the emotions of whatever that's going on. I do understand that. We have been there as well. But I'm going to say this, coming to Hari's point, the problem, and I may not know as much as you, because I'm not a United fan, but from what I can see,
thankfully no lah, bro. Thanking the lucky stars.
Exactly. So from what I can see here is, you look at Varane, maybe something they needed a defender to sort of work with Maguire. Sancho is a player that I think they've not just been sorting out this season. I think even last season also they were close to getting him. This season they really got him, but not Ronaldo. They never expected to get Ronaldo. So this is where we had this discussion at the beginning of this season, whether getting in Ronaldo was a plus or not. We all thought it was, when you look at it from from a logical point of view. Of course, having a world-class striker in there would, but the ego, whether Ole is the right manager to manage these players or not. That absolutely is the thing. And then coming to Hari's point about signing these players, but when you have a plan, like you see, Klopp had a vision and a plan. He knew what he wanted from the start when he took over until now. The difference was not many. Wijnaldum left. Other than that, he brought in Konate. If not, the whole team was there. They were there until now. They stuck with his plan. They had the vision. Jota was included after that, but they all knew what the plan was. The core team is there. But with Ole, he had a plan. But all of a sudden, this curveball comes in, Ronaldo comes in, and then all of a sudden, poof, everything changes. So I think this is the problem with United. So I think if they want Ole to do the job, and I'm not sure how things are being managed at the back, the backstage and stuff like that, or behind the scenes. If they have to trust Ole to get the signings that he wants, I'm not sure what is happening or who is making these calls.
Who is making these calls? Yeah, because Donny van de Beek is interesting, right? It's clear Donny van de Beek was not a Solskjaer signing, right? Yeah,
exactly. Whether Donny van de Beek was part of his plan, whether Varane was part of the plan, Sancho was part of the plan, and Ronaldo. So all these players put combined, and what is Ole's plan for United? What is their identity? What do they want? How do they want to move forward?
Are they a counter-attacking team? This is a great point, right, Sam? I'm going to put this up.
Exactly.
Lakshan's put up some really good points today, but this is a really good one, right? He said reason why they tried to press is because of the crowd at home yesterday. They can't be seen to be defensive against Liverpool at home, United, and counter-attack. This is what I was talking about, Round. Last season, they could afford to do this because there were no fans in the stadium. So the Old Trafford crowd will not be saying attack, attack, attack. So what they could do is play a counter-attacking game, just sit back against any team at home and counter-attack. This season with fans at home, you at home team, you shouldn't be sitting back, right? As United, you should be attacking. So I think they're under pressure now to change their style when Ole is basically a counter-attacking manager.
I'm gonna stop you there, Hari. Because I'm gonna say this, right? If the fans knew of the certain so-called gameplay that Solskjaer had, okay, I don't think okay, United would have been pressured to attack or play that high press game, because the fans don't even know what is Solskjaer's tactics.
Nobody knows.
When we
Nobody
look
knows. Yeah.
when we look at the lineup, I can tell you this. When I saw the lineup, I was pissed off. Why leave Pogba on the bench?
Ram, I'm going to make
Yeah.
a very controversial statement here, lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone, including you, bash Fred a lot, lah. To be honest,
Yeah.
Fred is actually a very good player.
I'm not-
Fred is actually. I'll tell you why he's a good player, right?
Yeah.
He actually starts for Brazil. In fact, over
Yeah.
Fabinho many times, he starts for Brazil. He's one of the more consistent starters for Brazil, and he's in his performances of Brazil are brilliant. And I watched the guy. He's got work rate. He's got a decent touch on the ball as well, and he's got good work rate. I think he would fit a Klopp system. Actually, Klopp could use the guy in his squad as one of the number 8s, like how Keita plays, etc. I actually think give Fred to Liverpool under Klopp, and he may not be a starter, but he will be a brilliant squad player as one of the number 8s in the team, because he's not being utilized properly by Oli. There's no plan,
Correct.
there's no strategy.
Correct.
That's the reason why a player like him is being made to look like a scapegoat and
That
crap.
is my
Actually,
point.
he's a decent player.
That is my point. When I say Fred McTominay, it's because the partnership is not syncing. Fred and McTominay does not sync. They don't gel together. It's not how you. If you put Fred with Pogba, for example, you put Fred with Van de Beek or whatever it is, you could see that Fred will have control in the midfield, and which is what he wants. He wants to have control in the midfield. He wants to have that space to move around. That's what he wants to do. But you put Fred and McTominay, that's when it's just too much, too tight, but it does not solve the problem. So I would say, when you play McTominay, don't play Fred. When you play Fred, don't play McTominay. Always have an attacking midfield that can back up Bruno, because that's what's most important.
I don't think that's the issue as well. He's tried Matic and Pogba. He's tried. The problem is
Matic-
tactics.
Matic-
There is no tactics, Ram.
Hey,
You can have a
dude.
formation. You can have two. You can have Jordan Henderson, or you could have Pirlo and freaking
Yeah,
Xabi
yeah,
Alonso in the
yeah.
team. But if you got no tactics, you leave them on their own there, for example, with disconnected from the attack, the defense all over the shop as well. You don't have an identity of play. Even they will look crap, in my opinion. They will look below average as well. I think the
see,
issue is who plays in that double pivot, but how you set them up. What are the instructions for the team? How should they play?
Correct.
What is the pattern of play? What do you say,
Correct.
Samson?
So yeah, I just want to add something here. Like I know you guys even for me as well. I think Ole got everything wrong yesterday. But for me, I think I want to touch a bit on the players' mentality. So I think
Yep.
having everything being put on Ole is not good as well. I think, for example, look at the goals they conceded. I think players like that should not, whatever mentality you put in, whatever strategy you go into the game as well, you should not be letting go. Look at the first goal. It was like me playing FIFA. I pretty much got the defense off. I pulled them out of position and they passed the ball. It is so bad. You cannot. That is
Amateurish, very amateurish.
At
This
least
is
FIFA,
a
you can
star-
restart. You can restart and play again. This game
Exactly.
cannot.
Exactly. This is a star-studded team. I want to just reiterate that. So these are star-studded team, full of star players from left to right, front to back. Leave the tactical side. Okay, fine. You press. Okay, let's take Ole's approach. He wanted to try and put and take the game to Liverpool. Okay, took the game to Liverpool. He tried to press. Maybe wrong choice, because you try to press without a system, without properly making sure that the players were working with one another and stuff like that. Okay, fine, you got it off. But at 2-0, 3-0 at the most, I would give them. But not like this, not this kind of performance. I think the players were not only disjointed, I think they didn't have the belief in them to even finish off the game properly.
No characters, no leadership, no characters.
No passion.
And I mean,
they didn't even want to come back and support one another. Let's say, for example, if they were sent out to do a pressing game, but if they see the back struggling, they should already track back and try to support. For example, when I looked at the analysis of the game, bloody Bruno is running all the way up to go and support Ronaldo, but midfield they all are struggling. Defense, they are coming back to support him, and then they are leaving that side empty. You know, so I think
a
they've just
classic
got it all
example
wrong.
is classic example, right? Pogba for France is a star. He comes and plays for United, garbage. Fred for Brazil, brilliant. Comes play for United, garbage. You can see, right? There's something wrong. There's something wrong. It's not just these players; they're quality players. They're not getting the right instructions, etc. Ram, let's move on from this. Let's talk about this question brought up here. Obviously, Simba is talking about Conte as the best candidate. So obviously, I want to get your opinion. If Ole is sacked, as you want him to be, although I don't think he will, and I want him to stay there for life as well. But I hope he stays for a few more months at least, But let's say, you heard the song yesterday. The fans were chanting in the stadium. Samson, they created a new chant. The Liverpool
That's
fans,
true. That's
not
true.
for Liverpool and their players alone. They created a new chant for Ole, bro.
Yeah.
Ole's at the wheel, na 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 na, something like that. I thought it was brilliant, man. That shows you how much they were taking the piss.
Yeah.
But if he goes, if he gets sacked, let's say he gets sacked tomorrow, Ram, who would you want to come into the job realistically as well?
I think if Conte is available, that is a good shout by Simba. I think that is definitely on the plate because he's now looking. He's interested in coming in. He's actually put that statement that he will take the job if it was given a chance. Zidane would also be another candidate.
Who would you prefer, Zidane or Conte?
Honestly, because of Ronaldo and Pogba in the team, Zidane would be a better fit because Zidane was managing Ronaldo at Real Madrid, and he always wanted Pogba in Real Madrid when he was there. So now with him coming on, he has both these players that he wants to work with, and plus, as a bonus, you've got Varane, of course, back again. You've got all those players that are in that team that he can do. Because I look at Conte, yes, he is a really good player, but he will then change the dynamics of the team. Where people say that in that sense,
but Conte is a Premier League experienced manager.
Yes,
he won the league, but he knows the style of play.
But the point is, he is a bit more defensive to my liking in that sense. He's a bit more defensive. Zidane has got that flowing football that you want to see because that's what I want. Because I don't care about keeping clean sheets, and winning the game 1-0, boring game. I'm not a believer of that. I'm a believer of playing good football, and I think Zidane gives me that feeling. So if I were to choose between Zidane and Conte, I would go with Zidane. But if Conte is available and he's the only one that could take over, I think he would also be able to solve many issues that we are trying to solve at the moment. So I'll take Conte in a heartbeat as well.
If there's a petition to keep Ole, please tell me. I want to sign also.
I also want to sign, bro.
Dude,
please.
Dude, you're not the only one because there are a lot of United fans. There's a lot of United fans that are still in for Ole, and Hari knows this. I for the longest time was also saying, okay, I want to keep Ole in. I believe in him and stuff like that. But when I see the big run of results this season, I feel it's not safe to just keep him on until the end of the season where we are.
But on a serious note, right? On a serious note, I want to ask.
Can we have a new ball? What's wrong with the one you have?
Hari is freezing. I don't know what is he doing.
Yeah. On a serious note, Ram, I want to ask you this question, right? Because I saw this interview with Gary Neville and some of the ex-United players.
Paul Scholes, yeah.
So Paul Scholes, I think Gary Neville was one of them who was very in favor for Ole to stay, and he said this. One of the reason why, and I want to ask your opinion as a United fan, number one, and also how you personally feel about this. He's saying that the reason why the board won't change Ole is because they have done it for the past couple of years, starting with David Moyes, and then they've got Van Gaal, and they've got Mourinho, I think after that, and then they've got Ole. So all these managers, although I feel until now, that they should have given Moyes a bit more time, personally, but that one never mind. But other than that, I all these managers came, they did what they're supposed to do, and they left in such a short period of time. All right, and except for Mourinho, I think he was there a bit longer, maybe.
And Mourinho was about 3 years, isn't it? 3 years.
Compared to the other two, right? So, and then now with Ole, it's more like a project. Okay, it is what they've started out. When they got him in, what they've
the project has gone backwards, my friend.
That's true, but it's more like I think they don't have a choice but to start back from where Ferguson started, where he almost got United relegated and things like that. I'm not saying because United, he has brought United to such a level where they cannot afford to do that. And I totally understand. But you don't have a choice when you lose such a big person like Alex Ferguson and the style of play and how he brings about the culture of football in United. I think you don't have a choice but to start back from scratch. So I think that was Ole. The project to start and to make sure that they have a system and a culture to build in the team, and it's going to take some time. And this is why he's saying that they are going to back him until end of the season. But Ole has got one condition: he at least has to win one trophy, at least one trophy. If he wins one trophy, he gets to stay on. If not, there's a high chance he will get the sack. Now, again, this is what Gary Neville is saying. It's not my observation or not what I think, but I want to know what you think about it.
I think, and add to that as well, Ram. Maybe as you're answering that, this one as well. Good point by Semba. Zidane actually came into a Real Madrid team that had a winning DNA, mentality, star players who had won year in year out, and there's good spine as well. This United team probably doesn't have that. Conte is a proven PL manager, and United need that. They need a hairdryer treatment style manager. So maybe as you're answering Samson's question, you may want to delve into this as well.
Yeah, I mean, good point. On that Simba. But I'm going to answer Samson, right? I'm going to say that yes, in terms of all the managers that have worked with United, to some extent, I think I have to say that Mourinho was the most successful of the lot after Ferguson. Although he had a very bad relationship with the players, more of a dictator sort of a thing. But that helped. That helped United to actually win the Europa League. It gave us a bit of trophies. It gave us a bit of a winning mentality and so on and so forth. But it was toxic to some extent. And that is why the decision was best to let him go, because that toxicity could have spread even worse. And it could have just destroyed the whole team as much as possible. Now, Samson, you mentioned about Ole being as a project to start from scratch, which I agree. That's the reason why we brought him on. The feel-good factor, former legend. You come on, you start as a project and so on and so forth. Fine, great. But it's been 3 years. 3 years of that project. Have we seen progression? Yes, I would take it as we did. Did we win any trophies? No, we didn't win any trophies. But was there improvement? Yes, there was. We were, I think, 5th or 6th when he first came in, and then brought us to 2nd last season, and now we are currently sitting at 7th place. I know it's too early to determine anything, but I can tell you this. If this continues, this is what I'm seeing is that bit of resurgence of that sort of mentality issue, especially now you've got players like Ronaldo in the team, where he, is a player that demands success. Now, going back to your point, Samson, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer cannot handle Ronaldo. And when you have a manager that cannot handle any player in your team, how are you going to be a manager? How are you going to show that you are bigger than the players? How are you going to show that? Sir Alex Ferguson was that kind of manager. No one is bigger than the club. He can manage anyone. So in my opinion, as I'm thinking, I want Ole to leave for a good reason, because we love him as who he is, as who he was as a legend of a player, and how he started as a manager at Old Trafford. I don't want Ole to be sacked and to be remembered as a terrible manager at United.
I think after yesterday, he'll be remembered for that already, bro. And also just to
Whatever.
add another point, bro, it's not just you who love Ole. I love Ole. Samson love Ole. We all love Ole. Ole is at the wheel. Ole is at the wheel.
Ralph, I just to add in there, I mean, again, playing devil's advocate here again, with Ole, and you say he has improved, and also he's getting there, and then now with the new additions of play, don't you think with additions of players like Varane, Sancho, Ronaldo, he's going to take a bit of time? Of course, for me personally, I think Ole is a type of manager that if you give him a team like West Ham, if you give him a team like Leicester, or you give him a team that is coming up, thereabout, I think he will do well. But you give him...
He took Cardiff down, bro.
but yeah, okay, fine. But I think after that, I think for him to, I think if he had better players, maybe But the thing is, now he has done. I think Ole has done the best that he can do. He can
Yeah,
do with he's
yeah.
taken United to as far as he can take them. Right.
He
So
can't
now for me,
compete with Tuchel's, Klopp, and Guardiola, man. He's
exactly,
not at that
exactly.
level.
So
Yeah,
And if
he's
you
for
not
want
at
to
me,
that level.
compete, and
Exactly.
you want to compete for titles, you have to compete with
that's
these
right.
guys, which
So for
he's
me
not at
is
that
if
level.
you have somebody like, for example, you said about Ronaldo, the likes of Ronaldo, how many seasons you give him? Another 2 seasons? But Ole is going to be with the club for the next, probably if he's the project manager that we think he is 10 years, maybe more, right? So we're not sure. But that culture needs to be there. Don't you think he needs a bit of time since he brought in,
Oh,
these
bro, I
big
like
names?
how you're pitching for him to stay there. I also
No,
want him to stay,
listen,
bro.
Samson,
Stay
your
for good.
points are your points are all valid. You made a good point. What I'm saying
But I
is,
mean, but Ram,
3
he doesn't
years
have tactics,
he
bro. He's got
doesn't
no
have
plan, no
tactics.
tactics. Yeah,
So
he's
3
got no.
years, three
There's no identity of play.
exactly.
Liverpool's tactics can vary from game to game, but the identity is always the same.
So you see,
There's no identity to
But
that
that
three.
team.
took
Yeah.
time,
No,
Hari.
see,
That took time for
see, three
Klopp.
I mean, no,
years,
but within the
3
first 2
years.
years, we had an identity already. It was just that
That's true.
the
Yeah. So I'm
the
saying,
quality of play got better, but the identity was there from day one, man. We were a
Yeah.
pressing team under Klopp from day one.
so you see, for me, 3 years, 3 years. Okay, first year, okay lah. First year, you just took over Mourinho. You are the interim manager, not a permanent manager. Okay lah. Whatever happens, fine. Okay, we can accept it. Second year, okay, fine. We got into second place. Great, great, fine, no problem, no issues. We lost the Europa League final, but we were in the final. Okay, so that's progression. Fine. This season, it's that time where whatever players you bring in, they should by right fit a known system, like what Klopp has done with all the players that they have bought. In the 3 years, to be honest, we have realized there is no known system. There is no identity of the kind of football that we play. We win games, sometimes we win 6-0, 7-0. Wow, yeah. And then the next game, boom, we are losing 3-0 and 4-0, whatever, what have you. So it's very inconsistent. So if let's say we would, obviously I understand we cannot win all the games in the Premier League. We are bound to lose some games here and there. But that is because injuries will happen. That is because international break, whatever that happens, right? But in my opinion, right now, going into the next game against Spurs, I'm nervous.
Actually,
I'm like,
I think United will
let's
win. I think
let's
United
actually
will win.
let's talk about that very quickly. Get some predictions for the weekend before we wrap up the show. I want to just come back to this point by Lakshan.
don't wrap it
Salah
up,
is
man.
the
I got
first-
so much to say.
Yeah, actually, you
man.
know what? We're getting really interesting right now because
Yeah.
I really want to tweak your brains a bit, because you see, with what kind of a club United is at the moment. Because you see, I'm heading there simply because it seems to me like United are now like the Chelsea and maybe even the City, maybe more like a Chelsea. Robert Abramovich, because he's the owner and stuff like that, he will come and throw his ideas, who he wants to buy and who he wants to this one.
But it
They
works.
used to be the thing is, but how many managers have they changed? There's no really culture. And now Thomas Tuchel is coming. This is his first season. He's really taken. He's done a good job. But but the thing is, there's no culture about them. So they change managers more than me changing my underwear.
Let me ask you this question, Samson, about Chelsea. Whenever Chelsea play, regardless of how many managers they have changed, they have always had good football, bro. They have
Always had
always
success,
had
lah. Always had success, lah. They
kind of
always win
football.
something.
Let's do success,
The kind of football that they
Success.
have, the kind of football they have played has been so attractive, regardless of how many managers they have changed, because they have that system that was
Okay.
already built in.
But
United
is that what
don't have
United
that.
wants? But is that what United want? Because you see, no matter how many managers you can change, like for example, like if you 10 managers in the next 10 years or next 10 managers in the next 5 years, and you win 5 to 8 trophies, is that what you want? Or are you trying to replicate what Fergie had, a manager for 20 years and winning multiple trophies? But for him to get there, where I'm coming to this, Rob, for him to get there, he needs some time. Like you see, for example, Klopp, for example, he already told, if anybody does, for example, if they put out whatever he talks to the players in the dressing room, he'll walk out immediately. That is how much confidence he has to talk about Liverpool in the public. He transfers all run by him. whatever that goes on with his team is all run by him. He manages everything A to Z. Now, can Ole say the same thing? For example, like bringing in Ronaldo, bringing in all these players, can Ole confidently say that he is managing it A to Z, everything? He's the decision maker in there. He's doing everything on, by himself, and all the ideas and all the buyings and everything is from him. Can he confidently say that?
I can say that definitely there's a big amount of influence in terms of the players that he wants, for sure, because he knows.
Donny went to big, bro.
Okay. And I can tell you this. I agree with you that he's not 100% able to dictate, the transfer market, as so to speak, because you got to understand that Sir Alex Ferguson is also involved at the back end of the club, so he would also have a lot of influence in terms of the players that should come into the system. But going back to that, about the time that Alex Ferguson was with us for 27 years, he was the longest serving manager ever, and he is, of course, the god of managing football. I think a lot of football managers look up to him, and so on and so forth. But now I'm going to tell you this: the modern game is such. The modern game is such that when you have clubs like United, Liverpool, Chelsea, and so on and so forth, the success has to come in a shorter period of time. It has to, because that is how the modern game is these days. And
I'm going to add something to this as well, Samson. I think you can give a manager time, like you're saying, to build a dynasty, but that manager should have created an identity from the start, an identity, a style of play, and then you can see that something is building. Then you give him time to build that thing.
Yes,
but I think
because you can see the
quite
consistency.
clearly see there's no pattern of play. There's no style of play. No one knows what they're doing on the pitch. So how do you give that manager more money to spend and more time? So as an owner, I think
the board, I think right now they can't trust Ole with that kind of spree.
Yeah.
All right, we got to talk a little bit about Liverpool. Bring it back to Liverpool a bit, bro.
Let's go, man. Let's go. Hey, bro, at the end of this, we should play the song. And Ram, I want you to listen to the song. We are going to sing the You Never Walk Alone. You got to listen.
Hari is still. Why is Hari freezing?
Am I freezing again?
Samson, can you see Hari is moving?
Hari is okay now. He's okay.
I'm okay.
Yeah,
I can't see him clearly. He's still in slow motion.
I can see both of you clearly. So you guys both are all right.
Okay, bro.
Right.
I guess it's my connection then. That's the problem. So I can't see Hari.
Yeah, your lights are stopped flickering because we started talking some real stuff here.
Yeah.
Very good.
But yeah, good point. Stat here, guys. Salah is the first Premier League player to score a hat-trick at Old Trafford since 2003, when prime Ronaldo scored a hat-trick. Ridiculous that one. Salah, I heard, is also, and I don't know how true my fact is here, the stat that came through to me, but I think he's also the only opposition player to score a hat-trick at Old Trafford in Premier League history or something like that. That's what I saw this morning. So if that's true, that's phenomenal. But yeah, guys, worth having a look at.
One player has got a hat-trick in Old Trafford,
Yeah, what a player. Mo Salah. Quick one, guys, and we will play the You Know What clone when we sign off today for sure, Samson. But quick one, Ram. We'll do a preview for the games as well, so I don't want to talk about it in detail, but you've got Tottenham this weekend away at White Hart Lane. Both teams need a win. Spurs lost at West Ham, desperate for a result. United the same. What do you think is going to happen here, man? Do you what do you think is going to happen?
Well, if Ole wants to prove that he is capable of leading this team, then they should bounce back. And I think because United are doing much better away from home compared to at Old Trafford, so I do see them winning this one. But it's gonna be again comeback. So I think Tottenham's gonna score the first goal, and United will win it 2-1. So that's my take.
What do you think, Samson? I'm gonna say that they will lose, man. I got a feeling they will lose. I got a feeling Spurs will start quick playing at home. And the key is for Spurs to score early, because I think if they score early, United is right now, confidence-wise, rock bottom. Actually rock bottom after what's happened at Liverpool with Leicester as well. And the Liverpool game more. They're really rock bottom.
Right.
If they concede an early goal, I think they'll be hard to pull them back up again. And I think they could go on and concede another 1 or 2 goals. So, and of course, you've got, Salah scored goals, but we can't forget Spurs have a good attack as well. Son Heung-min Harry Kane, Lucas Moura with pace in behind. I'm going to go with Spurs to win this 3-0. I think if they get an early goal, United's heads will drop. You got to remember, Pogba is obviously banned as well for this game now. I think their heads will drop, and I think Spurs will get a big win if they get an early goal.
I think before you go, I think if they start with Cavani, I think something could happen, because whenever Cavani plays, there is this element of urgency. So I think, Samson, what do you think? What's going to be?
The thing is, for me, ideally for us, for Liverpool team, I'm hoping for a draw, because both these clubs are almost equal in point. One is 15, one is 14. So ideally, I would like a draw. However, I see United winning this game, because I think United usually, almost every year actually, they do get wake-up call games like this. I think there was one against Tottenham where they lost, I think 6-1 was it, I think 6-1. Last year or something like that. And after that they started coming back and stuff like that. So again, I'm not sure if it's the players pulling out Ronaldo, pulling out Ole from this one, or Ole maybe needs a slap and to wake up and stuff like that. But I have a feeling, and you must know that Spurs doesn't have very great defense as well. So I feel that it's either going to be a draw or a United win. I think it's going to be a United win. I think they're going to bounce back and probably a 1-0 or a 2-1 win maybe over Spurs. And they're playing away, I think.
Away, White Hart Lane.
They're playing away, yeah. So maybe I think
United's record in White Hart Lane is pretty good. So I'm confident that they will come up with something, and
they're not going to miss much with Pogba. To be honest with you, it's just that I think if they can.
But is this man, Son Heung-min? I think I saw that United defense yesterday, Ram. I think he runs circles around that, so that's where I'm going with that. Lucas Moura as well.
Apparently, again, Ram and Harry, I'm not sure if my facts is right. I read about this as well. Apparently, Harry Maguire is nursing some kind of injury, or
he's not fully fit. He's not fully fit. No.
Yeah, apparently he's not fully fit or something like that. So Ole has taken the risk.
For me. It's not a concern for me if Maguire plays or not, because he's a fridge, like I said. So in my opinion, so a statue that is in the field. So it's enough of that. But if you ask me, I would love to see a different formation, which is a 3-5-2. I think that would give more versatility to the whole team. That will inject some freshness into the attack.
3-5-2. Wow.
3-5-2. I think
your three defenders must be very solid, bro. But the problem is you don't have three very good defenders.
No, but whatever it is,
one very good defender.
But in my opinion, right, when you have two defenders at the back that look shaky, I think the third one, like Bailly, for example, Eric Bailly, I think he's quick. In my opinion,
Eric Bailly is an accident waiting to happen, man.
Whatever it is, if he gets injured in the game, but I want a 3-5-2. Hopefully,
4-4-2.
What about Liverpool, Samson? We've got we've got Brighton this weekend. Tough game. I think it's away from home. Tough game. But Man City beat them quite convincingly as well. But it's still a tough game. Quick prediction from yourself.
Liverpool are in the form of their life now. They should make use of this momentum and carry forward. I think it's going to be a 2-0 win for Liverpool.
And I think it's going to be a fully rested team as well, because I think we're playing in the Capital One Cup, but they're going to play all reserves as he always does. So Salah, Mane all be well rested for the weekend, I think, which is why I fancy Liverpool to get a good win as well. I think I'm going to go 3-1 actually. Brighton will score. They're a good team. But 3-1 Liverpool. And so, guys, here's our wrap for the show today. Brilliant episode breaking down Liverpool's stunning demolition of United at Old Trafford. I thought it was brilliant. And Ram, I don't know if you guys saw this earlier, but I had to put this up again.
Yeah, we saw this. We have to... That's a good one. That's a really good one.
So, some special ones to end the day, and I can't leave without this again. I like seeing this man's face like this. Gives me a lot of pressure.
There's one with him.
5-0 lah, brother.
This is a good one.
I gotta say that thank you so much for for
Taking it
letting
easy on
us
you, lah.
know. No. I mean, I think you flowed well. I feel good now. Go ahead.
Join us, Ram. I think you should learn the song.
This one I will do.
Sweet silver song.
I'm here, but not here. Now you see me, now you don't.
Walk on.
Just telling you, this is not a Liverpool show. This is also not a United
Walk
show.
on.
5-0,
Today's your
Ram.
day.
5-0,
Today's your
Ram.
day. Take it. But when we go to
For a
Anfield,
dream.
we will take revenge.
Keep
Keep hoping, Ram. Keep hoping.
Walk
Walk
on.
on.
Hey, shut up lah. Enough lah. Wait, enough lah. Wait, shut up lah. Enough.
With
Hope
in
in your
your
heart
heart.
and your
Hey, still not done, is it? Hey,
You
All right, Ram.
Sí, Senor.
Special number for you.
Okay.
I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope that rings in your ears when you go to bed tonight, Ram.
Oh no. Trust me, I took off my earphones. I have decided not to even listen to that nonsense. Okay. But
great,
I would say
great insights and a great spot, Ram. Thanks for coming on.
Okay, wait. Again,
Facing it,
I think I need to make a wager here, lah, Ram. Okay, let's put it this way. I think you need to do some kind of punishment here. Let's say if you need to take responsibility for your club. Okay, let's put it this way. If United lose against Liverpool in Anfield, okay, let's do this, lah. You have to wear a Liverpool jersey. Okay,
I'm not going to do that wager.
No, I think it's only fair. You got a 5-0 thrashing. We didn't get you to do anything yet, but United have a chance to at least draw or try to salvage some kind. Even if they put in some kind of a good game, lah, and Liverpool win 2-1, also never mind. But if Liverpool
in
win
fact, I think you know what or not. I'm going to take it a step further. You wear a Liverpool jersey depending on the score as well. If it's 2-0, you wear it for 2 days running. If it's 3-0, you wear it for 3 days running. Finally, went for 5 days running, bro.
Guys. I am happy to come up with a wager, but please, I am a United fan through and through. I'm never going to ask you guys to wear a United shirt because I know you will never do it. I'm never ever going to do that. Okay. So yes, let's do it live.
Liverpool won't lose to United the way that you all did yesterday.
Fine. I admit we will not be able to repeat beat Liverpool 5-0. We will not be able to do it. I know that's a fact. Okay, but look, make a wager. I'm prepared to accept it, but not something that
okay.
puts me,
I think Hari, let's leave it to the fans, lah. Okay, all comment below.
Exactly. Guys, leave your comments below at the end of the show. Let us know what wager.
I will never ask you guys. Game. I will never ever ask you Liverpool fans out there to wear United shirt.
I'm asking the fans to decide.
So I want to remind you. I want to remind you. This is the show for the fans, by the fans. So if the fans have spoken, if the fans have spoken for you to do a wager, I think you need to do a wager. So let's see what the fans say. Let them say.
I am prepared to do a wager.
All right.
But please do not make me humiliate my team like that.
Take responsibility for your club, Ram, and now let the fans speak.
Okay, guys, he doesn't have to wear a jersey, but any other wager, please let us know.
That's right.
Give your comments in below after the show. And guys, please do subscribe to the channel. We need the support. Do hit the bell notification so you get updates on our future shows, and hit the like button as well. Signing off from the Plot Malaysia. Ram, I'll let you sign off, lah. Or should we sign off since we had a big win?
That's right. Let's do this, man.
Let us sign off, man. We did the You'll Never Walk Alone. Let's do this one, which I always do now as well. The Reds have got no money, but we'll still win the league. The Reds have got no money, but we'll still win the league.
We have got all the money, but we won't win anything.
The show for the fans.
By the
Fans.
fans.
Spot
Good
on,
luck,
guys. Spot on. Well
Cheers,
done.
cheers,
Well done.
cheers, Ram. Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Cheers. Cheers.